So just looking now at the case study template, a really important element of the overall mapping of university research is qualitative case studies. And these kind of describe in more detailed manner the impact that our research is having on the SDGs. So we've developed this case study template. We've kept it as short as possible. It's clear. There's only kind of 50 to 100 words required under the questions. And we're recommending that this will take around 30 to 40 minutes to complete, even quicker if you perhaps have this information already to hand and it's just a matter of copying and pasting it in. The benefit then of this for you as a researcher is these case studies will be published in our new report, and they'll also be published online. And we're creating a new area of the UCC research website that will feature all of the different case studies under the 17 goals. So it's just a chance really to draw attention to the contribution your research is having to the goals. And also, I would say for future funding proposals, if you have kind of thought in more detail about the contribution of your research to finish this this case study example, that you're in a good position then for future funding proposals, because you can refer then to this case study, and where a description of impact is required, you might use some of the information you've already drafted here in the case study. And finally then, just, as I mentioned in the previous video, the UCC Research Awards has that award now, the President's Award for Research Impacting the SDGs. So you'd have your case study ready to go for those awards next year and the years after that. So just getting started then, there's just a brief introduction here at the start on the purpose of the case studies. An information statement again, along with a consent statement. So this has all been approved by the Social Research Ethics Committee. And if you click I do not consent here, you won't be able to proceed. If you click I consent, you can go on to the next window then and the next part. So we're asking for the researcher's name here in the question 2. Question 3 then, are you happy for your name to be featured with your case study in the report and website? So we just wanted to give people the option here. We understand that some people might prefer for their case study to be reported at school or centre level, but if you would like your case study to feature your name, just tick yes here and we'll do that. We then ask for your affiliation. So this is looking at the school or centre that you are working in. The title then of your case study. So this can be any title you want. I suppose as kind of accessible and understandable as possible. So just as an example, something like cleaning up our oceans, if your research is looking into removing litter from the oceans, or so on, something like that. We then ask for a website link where available. So this is a link to perhaps a web page that you've created about your research or your researcher profile. And this is just so I can refer to the page to get more information if it's needed. Question 7 then, what SDG or SDGs are impacted by your research? So choose a maximum of 3 goals and you'll have this information from the previous mapping exercise that you've just undertaken. Please list specific SDGs targets impacted, and up to 6 targets can be chosen. Again, you'll have this information from the previous mapping exercise that you have just undertaken. Question 9 then, the purpose of your research. We're recommending that this is 50 words, maybe 1 or 2 sentences to describe the purpose of your research and why you set about to undertake your research in the first place. What issue is it trying to address? Is the impact of your research at local, national or international level? So that's just your own assessment there. Local, we're talking really about Cork and kind of our local community. National in Ireland, and international then beyond Ireland. So whether that's Europe or global. Question 11 then, please describe the impact of your research on the SDGs in terms of the planned outputs from your research, their outcomes and the actual or anticipated impact over time. And we're suggesting that this is 100 words. So this is just really to elaborate in a few more sentences about kind of the outputs of your research and how these are going to impact on the SDGs. So for example, if you're creating a medical device that will address the health of newborn babies. You'd expand perhaps on how, when that device is being built, how is it being developed, is it being trialed, and how that will impact then in the future on SDG 3.4. Sorry, SDG 3.2. How is your research then changing and informing the research landscape in Ireland and beyond? We're leaving 50 words for that. So it's just a sentence or two on, I suppose what new outcome has come from your research and how your research is kind of informing your area going forward. Question 13 then, do you have photos or videos that you'd like to share? Just notifying people there to email them to me separately, and these will be great then to feature on our website and in the report. And finally then, the form ends with an optional quote. This is just if you'd like to provide a quote from yourself about why the project is relevant and how it will continue to have an impact on the SDGs. And these quotes then also will be featured in the website and report. So again, when you get to the end of the form, you will be clicking the submit button here. It's not in that format at the moment, but there'll be a submit button. Click that, and on the next window, you'll have the option to save your form as a PDF. And as with the mapping form, I'd advise you to save this template as a PDF to ensure then that you have a record of your case study and you can refer back to it then for future purposes. Thank you.